time is 1:15. Here's the news edited by Catherine Pereira, read by Victor Raj. Here are the headlines of the local news. The President assures to provide solutions for the current power crisis. The Health Trade Union recommences their strike. The national publication of Muluratama Harimagata prepared by 11 government parties will be launched this afternoon. The Attorney General notifies that surcharges tax doesn't include 13 pensions fund including EPF and ETF. It has been stressed that there is no obstacle for rail transportation. US President vows freedom will triumph over tyranny. Comes in today's world news. Local news in detail. The Public Utility Commission says that President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has assured that necessary steps would be taken without delay to avert the ongoing electricity crisis in the country. Speaking in this regard, the chairman of the Ceylon Electricity Board, Janaka Ratnagar, said the Treasury and the Central Bank would ensure the facilitation of fuel import for power generation within immediate effect. 17 trade unions of the health sector has recommenced their strike, which was suspended. Director of the Kalubovila Hospital Specialist Dr. Rukshan Bellana said that their aim is to provide a wrong picture to the Geneva Human Rights Summit session. He said that it is a well-planned act of restarting the strike after 14 days. There are non-governmental organizations behind this act. Minister Uday Kamampela says that the main reason for the present crisis faced by the country is the shortage in foreign exchange. This situation has been aggravated to the petroleum institutions as well. He made these remarks participating in the Dasa Desin program of the SLBC. He said when seeking long-term solutions to this issue, the importation should be minimized while increasing the export in the country. At this juncture, $2 billion loan facility should be obtained or manage the existing foreign exchange. He also stated that foreign exchange should be used only for import of essential goods. A national publication under the theme of Muluratama Harimagata, which was prepared by 11 political parties that representing the government, will be launched Monarch Imperial Hall of the Sri Javadan Court at 2 p.m. today. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
The medical insurance plan that begins at the age of 60. Medi60 from Sri Lanka Insurance.
More local news. The Attorney General today informed the Supreme Court that one-time surcharge tax of the 25% to be imposed on individuals or companies which earn an annual taxable income of 2,000 million rupees does not include the EPF, ETF and 11 other pension funds. The pensions filed against the surcharge tax bill presented by the government to the Parliament were taken up before Supreme Court's 3-judge bench comprising Justice Bhuvanakal Vihari, A.H.M.D. Nawaz and Arjuna Obesekara. The government of Bangladesh signed 2 separate agreements with the Asian Development Bank for loans worth $292 million yesterday. The agreements were signed in Dhaka between Fatima Yasmin, Secretary of the Economic Relations Division, and Edimong Jinting, Country Director, ADB. The first loan worth $157 million is being provided to mitigate flood and riverbank erosion risks, strengthen climate resilience through the structural and non-structural interventions, and promote knowledge-based solutions along the Jamuna, Padma and Ganges rivers in central Bangladesh. It is part of the second tranche of the Flood and Riverbank Erosion Risk Management Investment Program approved by the government in 2018. 14. Additionally, the government of the Netherlands will provide $17.89 million in technical assistance grant to be administered by ADB to help finance the second tranche of the program and promote innovations and capacity building. Agriculture Minister Mahindananda Alutkamage says that the government has decided to pay 50,000 rupees per hectare to farmers whose crops were damaged during the Maha season. Mr. Alutkamage said that the proposal was approved by the cabinet and the money would be released from next week. Minister Alutkamage said that at present a kilo of paddy is being bought for between 92 and 95 rupees and there is no possibility of any economic loss after the farmers receive the crop damage compensation. That ends local news.
The medical insurance plan that begins at the age of 60. Medi 60 from Sri Lanka Insurance. A health insurance plan to honor our most valued elders by the protectors of the nation. We now give our treasured senior citizens access to the very best medical insurance, specially tailored for anyone over 60. What's more, you don't need medical screening to access this policy. And Medi 60 covers a wide range of illnesses. Only from Sri Lanka Insurance. Call 0112 357 357.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Deputy General Manager Railway H.G. Seneviratna says that a stock of fuel need for rail transportation activities will be supplied by the Kolonnawa oil facility to the railway department without any shortage. He also stated that there is no any cancellation or limited of train operations yet due to the fuel shortage. That ends main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
On to the watchlight. The traditional puppets art performance in the southern province is being deteriorated. The traditional art of puppets was popular among foreign countries, which was started based on Ambalanguda. The attention in this regard was not paid by the responsible section of the government. Artists engaged in the field pointed out that they are facing many difficulties in maintaining their profession. The artists are requested the relevant authorities to take speedy measures to safeguard this field. This is for the attention of the State Minister of Development Activities of the Rural Artists. That ends Watchlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
No matter what anyone says, for your lease, visit the Leasing Mahagedara. People's Leasing, Friendly Leasing Mahagedara. More information from the nearest People's Leasing branch.
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
On to the world news. Headlines first. U.S. President vows freedom will triumph over tyranny. Ukraine President says Russia's Kharkiv attacks were war crimes. Russia has committed over 80% of its pre-staged combat power to Ukraine. World news in detail. U.S. President Joe Biden has told Congress that Vladimir Putin badly misjudged how the West would hit back once he invaded Ukraine. In the primetime speech, Mr. Biden vowed an unwavering resolve that freedom will always triumph over tyranny. Democrats and Republicans reached to Mr. Biden's appeal to show support for Ukraine by rising in the unison to applaud. His State of the Union address came as pandemic where Americans grappled with the galloping inflation. In his hour-long address to lawmakers last, the Democratic president said Putin's war was premeditated and unprovoked. He rejected repeated efforts at diplomacy. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has accused Russia of war crimes after airstrikes, including one on a central square hit the country's second city. At least 10 people were killed and 35 hurt when an opera house, a concert hall and a government office were struck in Freedom Square in Kharkiv. Later, the main TV tower in the capital, Kyiv, was hit, knocking media off air and killing 5 people. Moscow warned residents near Kyiv's military areas to leave their homes. A senior U.S. Defense Department official says Russia is continuing reinforcements of its forces in Ukraine and has committed more than 80% of its pre-staged combat power. The official briefed reporters on Tuesday on Washington's assessment of the Russian invasion. The official said Russia has fired more than 400 short-range and medium-range ballistics and cruise missiles. The defense official also said the main Russian advance heading south towards the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv basically remained roughly 25 kilometers north of the city, where it had been the previous day. To wrap up the world news, let's take a look at the headlines once again. US President vows freedom will triumph over tyranny. Ukraine President says Russia's Kharkiv attack are war crimes. Russia has committed over 80% of its pre-staged combat power to Ukraine. That ends world news.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
For your wheel lease, visit the Leasing Mahagedara. People's Leasing, friendly leasing Mahagedara. More information from the nearest People's Leasing branch.
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take coal out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
A multi-purpose building will be constructed to facilitate the local and foreign tourists who are arriving to witness the natural environment of Lanka. The construction work is being carried out by the Southern Provincial Council. An information center of tourists will also be established. Several roads in the area have been renovated under the government development activities. That came to you on Development News.
Development News was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
Sports News is brought to you by
Sampath Bank. We present your future.
The second semi-final match of the Nidahas Championship football tournament will take place today. The teams of Southern Province and the Sabaragama Province are to be competed today. The match will begin at 3:30 p.m. at Ratnapura Sivali grounds. The tournament has been organized by the Sri Lanka Football Federation. Ireland will play white ball series against India, New Zealand, South Africa and Afghanistan in their 2022 home summer, but their wait for a test match will stretch past 3 years after the postponement of their tour to Zimbabwe. That ends Sports News.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB You Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Directors of Messrs. Seedguest, based in Lahore, Pakistan, a well-established high-quality garment export company, recently visited the Board of Investment of Sri Lanka with the objective of exploring opportunities for invest in Sri Lanka in the apparel sector. Messrs. Seedguest is the leading manufacturer of yarn, fabrics and garments. The high-quality garments are exported to European Economic Community, United Kingdom and North America. That ends Business News.
Business News. Sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Economic News. Courtesy of
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
A program to enhance the productivity and quality of the main export crop is being implemented. A high official of the Export Agriculture Department said that it is hoped to increase the expected income from the minor export crop is 100 billion rupees during the next 2 years. That ends Economic News.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
On to the weather report. The Met Department says that under the influence of aforementioned low-pressure areas, showery condition in northern, north-central, eastern and Uber province and in Madhya district is expected to enhance from night to 4th of March. Cloudy skies can be expected in the eastern, Uber and central provinces. Showers will occur at times in eastern and Uber provinces and Mathali, Nuvareli and Polonnaru districts. Fairly heavy showers above 75 mm can be expected at some places in the above areas. Several spells of showers will occur in northern province and in Kandia, Bantutan and Radhapur districts. Showers of thunder showers will occur at a few places in Sabaragamulla province and in Gol, Mathura, Kaluthur districts during the evening or night. Wind speed can increase up to 40 to 50 km per hour at times in northern, north-central, eastern, northwestern and Ur provinces, eastern slopes of the Central Hills and in Hambantota district. That ends the weather report. To wrap up the afternoon news on Radio Sri Lanka, let's take a look at the headlines once again. The President assures to provide solutions for the current power crisis. The Health Trade Union recommences the strike. The national publication of Mulu Ratama Harimagara prepared by 11 government parties will be launched this afternoon. The Attorney General notifies that surcharge tax doesn't include 13 pension funds including EPF and ETF. It has been stressed that there is no obstacle for rail transportation. In foreign news, US President vows freedom will triumph over tyranny. With that, we wrap up the afternoon news on Radio Sri Lanka.